All right, my SouFLoTV audience. Somebody said Beanie Man is somewhere right now praying bad prayers that Vybz Kartel does not win a Grammy this year, because if he does win the Grammy this year, then there's nothing that Beanie Man has left over Vybz Kartel, because the only thing he has hanging over him is pause on the hanging over him, but the only thing he has over him is that he has a Grammy. You know the whole vibe about who is the real king of dancehall and all that. Even though I think it's undisputed and proven that, Beanie Man was that for an era, but Kartel is that now present. We don't know who it's going to be in the future, but we know for now that Vybz Kartel locked the thing, right? Not only that, every person who is in this Grammy nomination for Best Reggae Album 2026 Grammy Awards, they're all Jamaican, right? Keznamdi, Mortimer, Lila Ike, Vybz Kartel, Jesse Royale, they're all Jamaican. So most people are going to say anybody who wins is a win-win for the whole island of Jamaica and Jamaica's brand of reggae music. Because reggae music done gone all across the world already, right? Right, and everybody got their own version of reggae. And sometimes in the past, people who are not Jamaican have won Grammys with Jamaican reggae music or with their brand of reggae music. Then here's what I want you to do. I want you, when you're done listening to my reasoning as to why I chose who I chose for the Grammy and who I say is going to win, if my number one person selection for prediction does not take it, my number two or second will take it. Why for the number two? Second will take it, right? After you're done listening to my reasoning, because I break down everything in this video for you, I want you to leave your comments in the comment section and give me a short reason why you think who you think is gonna win it. Alright, I'll see you in the comment section. Enjoy the reasoning, enjoy the video. You won't see me again on screen. I'm out. Yeah. Alright, my SouFLoTV audience, welcome back to the channel. If you've never been here before, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, please. Music is what we're going to talk about right now, specifically the 2026 Grammy Awards. Yeah, we're in 2025 still as of right now, but the 2026 Grammy Awards are not too far away. And of course, they submitted a lot of reggae albums this year, and the Grammys had to make the cut. So from the amount of albums that were submitted, the Grammys had to go through the pile and narrow it down to who they think should be the top main contenders. Well, bang, the results are in. And today we can tell you that albums by Vybz Kartel, Jesse Royale, Lila Ike, Keznamdi, and Mortimer have been nominated for the Best Reggae Album category of the 68th Grammy Awards. Listen, this conversation is going to break down the albums, how I feel about the albums, my prediction as to who is going to win, and if that person doesn't win, who the runner-up I think is going to be, right? Take this with a grain of salt and keep in mind that these are my opinions. However, my opinions come from an educated place, right? Ride with the storm. On top of this, though, we're going to have a discussion about, is it time for them to separate Grammy reggae versus Grammy dancehall? All right, look at it like this. No Place Like Home has given Jesse Royale his second nomination. And then Vybz Kartel picks up a nomination for Heart and Soul, which is his second nomination. Shout out to the Jamaica Observer. This is the first nomination for both Mortimer on his album that's called From Within, and Lila Ike, who has been creating waves with her Treasure Self-Love project. Blood and Fire by Keznamdi is also nominated. Well, we are going to see how this goes. By the way, the 68th Annual Grammy Awards will take place in the United States of America at the Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles, California, February 1st of 2026. Again, that is not too far away. Now, there are a lot of people who are saying, listen, if there are any Marleys involved in any of these projects, then that is the project that is going to win. I want you to keep in mind that there have been winners at the Grammys before for Best Reggae Albums where no Marleys were involved in those projects. However, if a Marley is in the running, usually it boils down to a Marley. Them I got tired, fissy with face. Yeah, hail to the great Bob Marley, you know? So let's talk about the albums now. All right. The first one I'm going to talk about is why my prediction. My prediction is that Vybz Kartel is going to walk away with the Grammys. Hold your horses. I know. A lot of people are going to say, move SouFLo. It's because you feel like the Vybz Kartel are the best thing ever in our music. And you're an artist that. Hear me out, though. Hear me out. Vybz Kartel is going to walk away with the Grammy this time. And the reason I'm saying that is because the place where this is coming from. Vybz Kartel for this year, leading up to the Grammys, has been on a run like no other. I'm talking about commanding some big paychecks to perform in some big sold out arenas, headlining his own events. These are not events where he is featured as an artist on these events. He is the main headliner, and most of them were his, right? So in essence, the crowd was out to see him, not the 20 people that were lined up behind him. That alone says a lot. So when I went and looked up the Grammys and how they calculate who gets an award this year, they said that they don't even look at certain things that we think they look at. They actually look at who has the influence, who moves the crowd, who moves the cultural Richter scale, who is making noise out there in the world on a level that cannot be denied, kind of thing. And Vybz Kartel has been doing that this year. I mean, he came out of prison over a year now, definitely with a buzz, kicked the door back in the industry and took off running. And ever since he got his visa to the United States of America, it's just been hands down on some stuff that is made for the record books. So I think this is the year that he will be awarded for all that momentum. Now, of course, the momentum is eventually going to die down, and people are eventually going to say, okay, so he was in prison. So what? He came out. It's been years now, but that momentum is still going. So riding off that momentum and this project that he put out, I think it's going to be Vybz Kartel. My runner-up is Lila Ike, and I'll explain in a minute. So Vybz Kartel has an album out that's called Heart and Soul. The Heart and Soul album, it did not have a single on there that took on world dominance like, say, Fever, Panya Ponani, Wine for Me Baby, Everything Chris. It didn't have one of those kind of songs on there that rose to that level of magnitude globally. However, it was a solid album. And a lot of the tracks on there also got a video to go with them, right? You can't be lazy. And in this world where people want to see stuff while they're hearing stuff, if you're in the entertainment business, it's best to put a video to the songs. It gives the song more mileage. And Vybz Kartel has been racking up the millions and millions and millions of views on YouTube with these songs, with the videos to go with the songs from the Heart and Soul project. Can't Leave You Alone, big. Cinderella Ballroom, big. I Know, big. Bad, 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 big. Dancehall classic. In Too Deep, You Know, Goat. That one there went viral. You Walked Away, big. Ghetto Girl Chosen, Heart and Soul, of course. And then They're Out of Love, We Aren't. That song right there is one of the songs that kind of like cross over. So Kartel put together a solid project. No Marleys are on his project either. Well, Let's see what happens next. Let's talk about the other albums now a little bit. So we're gonna talk about, let me see, Keznamdi album Blood and Fire. Keznamdi put out an album that is truly blood and fire. I mean, when I listen to the album does something as in, if you listen to an album and the album does not move you to either think or move or think and move at the same time or get up and feel like you want to move something, whether you want to fuck it up or you want to meditate upon it or whatever the case may be, then you're not listening to powerful music. Keznamdi's Blood and Fire is powerful, and that's the least I can say. Natty Dreadlocks, Live Roots version. Identity Crisis is one that you need to listen to. Colonial Bondage is one you super needs to listen to. Pumps and Pride, Pressure. There is River Jordan, Serious Times, Somebody, and I Am. You need to hear this album, but the thing is, I don't think that the world is ready for this level of a revolutionary type of music when the words in the songs are too revolutionary. If you understand what I'm saying, right? It's kind of like Bob Marley singing, "One love, one heart, let's get together and feel alright." That sounds like a song for everybody across the world, regardless of what you are, what your racial, social, political, economic, whatever backgrounds you come from, ethnicity, whatever. That song. Now, if you listen to a Sizzler, Black Woman and Child, oh yeah, 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 for you I really have so much love. That specifically speaks to only Black women and Black children. So everybody else is eliminated. It's kind of like what Blood and Fire is from Keznamdi to me. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think it's going to get that crossover feel or that strong look like it's supposed to get. All in all, it is a super album and definitely one to add to your collection. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, we have to talk about Jesse Royale's album is solid, but you must remember also that Jesse Royale might be the sneaker. And when I say the sneaker, I'm not talking about shoes. I'm talking about he might get that Grammy because, not saying he's not a good artist, but we understand in the business that association helps also. Jesse Royale is associated with the Royal Marley family. Not only that, Jesse Royale has done work with Lila Ike. Jesse Royale has done work with other power hitters who are Grammy winners. So it won't be far-fetched for it to go down that way, that he actually ends up winning the Grammy. You know? Because if you're connected in the right way, you're connected in the right way. All right. And there are Grammy winners who are around him and done work on his album as well. Lila Ike, who is my second. If Vybz Kartel don't get it, I think it is going to Lila Ike. The reason why is because, damn, you know one of those albums where you put it in, you play it, and you want to play it over and over again. Like when it get to the last track, you want to start back again from the first track and just make it run straight. You don't even have a favorite where you have to go to that. Like, let's skip to number 4. Let's skip to number 6. You don't do that with Lila Ike's Treasure Self-Love album. This is the kind of album where you just let it play. And play all of the tunes them from the whole album and just repeat again. Right? Now I'm looking at who is on Lila Ike's album, and her album is kind of star-studded. It has her on there, H-E-R, which we'll talk about in a second. It has Joey Badass on there. It has Maverick Sabre on there. It has Protege on there. It have dancehall artist Massacre on there as well. The album has a true roots rock reggae feel. And of course, Lila Ike's vocals that are like, she was blessed. I always say this about entertainers who have a voice, that it separates them from everybody else. Like, soon as you turn that record on, the minute you hear her, you know that that's Lila Ike singing. It's like it's hard to imitate her voice. She has this unique signature. Kind of like how Shensia has this unique sound. Kind of like how if you hear Bob Marley sound anywhere, you know right away that's Bob Marley singing. Even though Bob Marley's boys sound like him too, but you know says Amalia sing. I'm trying to give you an understanding of, kind of like when you hear Vybz Kartel, you know it's a Vybz Kartel that, right? Unless somebody is really, really trying hard to be that person or imitate sounding like that person or AI, right? So treasure self-love. Now I went and looked up, is there any connection on treasure self-love that could walk Lila Ike into the Grammys? And the first one I picked out was Her, Her. Her, whose real name is Gabby Wilson. She uses the stage name HER as an acronym, right? She's an American R&B singer-songwriter and a multi-instrumentalist. That means she plays many instruments. Her name is the acronym for Having Everything Revealed, HER. Check this out. She is no newcomer to the Grammy party, my friend. This is a heavy hitter Lila collaborated with. She has won 5 Grammys so far. 5 Grammys so far. Now, we ain't going to talk about all the other awards that she has. I'm just speaking of the Grammys. So because she has been through that door already, and because she scooped up 5 of those awards already, then I think it is super possible that her association with Lila could also walk Lila right back into her grabbing a Grammy for herself. Mortimer's album, Mortimer is the artist that has close association also. He has worked with Lila Ike. He has worked with Kabaka Pyramid, which Jesse Royal has worked with Kabaka Pyramid as well, as you all know. And they're all connected also, as well, as you all know. So y'all see what I'm saying? The connections. They're all connected. So, and it goes right back to the Marley Association, which could very well be an influence on if they get that Grammy or not. So Mortimer's album is not that popular to me in comparison. And I'm not talking about not popular around the world, because I'm not the world. I'm talking about me and my personal opinion. It's a beautiful album. It is not the one that I would push to the forefront. From Within is deep, introspective album, but it's one that is more like, it's good for playing at concerts and large venues and stuff. Very well put together album. Obviously a musician's dream type of an album, right? I give it all high praises. But my choice still comes down to where my bet is, and it's that Vybz Kartel is going to walk away with the Grammy. And if it isn't Vybz Kartel, it's going to be Lila Ike. Now, if Lila Ike walks away with that Grammy, please remember, I told you that it was going to happen. And I would be elated because I feel like she is well deserving of it. Not just because, but because she is super talented. A beautiful sister that has talent out the world. Now, let's talk about this last part right here now. I think that reggae music has grown so big, and then dancehall music branched off out of reggae music to the point where dancehall music has gone around the world and back a couple of times now by itself. It's kind of like that parent that raised a child, and then the child took off on its own, and then the child packed his bag and said, I'm going out into the world, mommy and daddy, to go find what's mine, and I'll be back. And the child has been to every country in the world now by himself. The child has created his own business, his own brand. his own wings have been spread. He flies by himself independently now. He no longer needs to be under the umbrella of his mommy and his daddy, or his mommy then, so to speak. Speaking of the relationship between reggae and dancehall. So the question of the day is it time now to split at the Grammys and say one award for Best Dancehall Album of the Year, one award for Best Reggae Album of the Year, and stop jamming reggae and dancehall artists together? Because if you look at what we have now, with an artist like Mortimer, that is strictly reggae. Then you have a Lila Ike, and then you have a Jesse Royal, and you'd have a Keznamdi, and then you throw a Vybz Kartel in there. Vybz Kartel sings songs that could be construed as reggae, but Vybz Kartel moves to a beat that is undeniably dancehall, even when it sounds like traditional reggae with the one drop rhythm and the one drop feel. It still give a dancehall once Kartel touch it. You know what I mean? So isn't it time to like divide? And I don't want to use the word divide as in a divisive way, but I mean it's time to establish Grammy for dancehall versus just piling everybody together, and a dancehall artist is competing with a traditional reggae artist for the one award. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about that. And I will catch you on the next video. Again, don't forget, my prediction is that Vybz Kartel is about to walk away with a Grammy in 2026 February at the Grammy Awards. If it's not him, it will be Lila Ike. No disrespect to the others. Mortimer, tight album. Jesse Royal, big up yourself. Keznamdi, Blood and Fire is out this world. But at them two there, may I put the bet on. Anything after that will be a complete surprise for me. I'll catch y'all on the next video. It's SouFLoTV. I'm out. Peace.